All right, so let's talk about Mandalorian Chapter 12, The Siege. One little disclaimer I'm going to make is that I'd definitely normally be asleep right now. I've had roofers working at my apartment, and yeah, I'm a night worker, so usually I'd be asleep right now, and they make a lot of noise. It's hard for me to sleep, so you may or may not hear some banging during this, and that's the roofers at work. Still recovering from Hurricane Sally. But anyway, this is definitely my favorite episode of season 2 so far. Maybe in general, one of my favorite episodes of The Mandalorian. I will say overall, I have been actually enjoying season 1 more than season 2, but yeah, I mean, this was like the most season 1 episode of season 2, if that makes sense. The most obvious thing about it is just the reoccurring characters of it. You had Grief Cargo, Grief Karga, I think was his name, and Cara Doom. They're back. Really enjoyed their characters in the first season. Even have Mithril, as his name is revealed to be. Even though he was in only one episode, I rather like that character. I didn't really like how he was treated in this episode, though. I mean, not so much directly his character, so much as how the other characters are treating him, as like a slave. I don't know. I kind of hope that by the end of this season, he'll be treated a little bit more dignified manner. I don't know. I just kind of feel like he deserves better personally. But anyway, yeah, it was good to see them back. Sort of a side tangent, but I recently saw a article about like some feminists complaining about the Mandalorian. Think that even though the Mandalorian himself isn't a female character, I think they have some really strong female characters. I mean, Cara Dune is the most obvious one. Can't remember her name right off the top of my head, but the mechanic lady. I mean, I think she's a cool character as well. I mean, she might not be a badass fighter, but I mean, like, you don't have to be a badass fighter to be a good female character, in my opinion. But yeah, anyway, so other season 1 things about this that I really liked is that finally, the child is not only really hilarious in this, but he also plays a much bigger role in it. Did feel like he's been kind of subdued in the previous episodes, which I felt like is kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, I think on one hand it's nice to have a chance to appreciate the other aspects of the Mandalorian series as a whole, but at the same time, what can I say? The child is just really great part of it, and yeah, I thought the beginning was hilarious when he was trying to get him to help him repair a ship in that tiny little cupboard. Remind me a lot of Baby Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, actually, specifically when Rocco's trying to show Groot how to activate the bomb. Yeah, I thought he was really funny at the ending, too. I couldn't really tell if he was using the Force or if he was just sort of waving his arms around having fun while the Mandalorian was flying his ship. I'm kind of leaning more towards just waving his arms around having fun. But, yeah, say how about the first half of this episode was structured also kind of remind me a lot of the first season in the sense that the first season had a lot of sort of side quests, side plots that didn't really directly pertain to the main plot of the series as a whole. And I feel like that was something that you kind of either loved or hated. Personally, I like that. I thought it was kind of fun to, show that, even though there is a main plot to it, not everything that's going on has to directly pertain to it. As long as it tells an entertaining story, I'm all for it. Whereas, the second season I thought has been, a little bit too focused on the main plot of it to the point that, like, I felt like it may have not have enough room to really flesh out. But then about halfway through it, you do get a revelation that scientist was working with the child's blood. Seems like he's been injecting it into other beings and some sort of experiment. I'm guessing he's trying to make them force sensitive and turn them into an army or something like that. But either way, my buddy Thomas has joined me, as you can see. Either way, he's ran out of the child's blood, and he needs to... Oh boy, now he's biting me. He needs to get more of it. And I was kind of anticipating that it'd end on a dark note with the child kidnapped once again, but of course that wasn't the case, fortunately. I was happy about it anyway, at least. But yeah, overall, this episode definitely had me a lot more excited. I mean, I have been enjoying the previous episodes, but yeah, this episode definitely has got me the most excited. I feel like might not get people quite as excited as me, because I feel like a lot of people got really excited over Bo-Katan, and of course we're all excited to get Ahsoka Tano. There was somewhat of hints of her being in this episode, but of course that wasn't the case. But I'm not complaining because, I mean, like I said, it was just a really kick-ass episode that I really enjoyed. And since it's relevant and I have my little helper here with me, we'll give you a little tattoo update. I have recently emailed my artist just saying if he'd be willing to change up the plan for my tattoo. Originally I was going to get a really big Hogwarts tattoo on my right arm, and I do want to get that eventually, but right now I want to get the Mandalorian Mudhorn signet crest on the lower part of my right arm for a variety of reasons. Mainly, I just kind of feel like it's more relevant to me right now. I mean, I wouldn't want to get any tattoo if I didn't feel like it wasn't at all relevant to me, obviously. But right now, I feel like that signet is a little bit more relevant to me. I mean, any tattoo idea that I currently have, I simultaneously think it stands alone as a cool thing, but I also feel like it pertains to me on a somewhat deeper level. And for me, Clan of Two, as that signet represents, is something that I kind of feel like is particularly relevant to me. I feel like the Mandalorian reminds me a lot of myself, and the child reminds me a lot of this guy. I'm kind of a lone wolf type person, and Thomas here is small, cute, rambunctious, and I'm very protective of him. So yeah, I kind of feel like that reminds me a lot of Thomas and me. Then also it'll be a cheaper tattoo, so hopefully I can take a little New Orleans vacation between Christmas and New Year's, because I'm about to start my Thanksgiving vacation, and I'm also taking a Christmas vacation, and I'll be recovering from my tattoo during the Thanksgiving vacation. I don't really have plans for my Christmas vacation right now, so I have been really wanting to go to New Orleans. I was originally planning on going sometime next year, but if I can afford it, I'd like to go out and go during my Christmas vacation. And then also, as I mentioned several times before, I don't really feel like my skin condition is very good on this arm, this part of my arm at least, right now. So hopefully sometime next year, it'll just be a better time for me to get that tattoo. But yeah. So I should have my vlog going up tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that.